Hey you. Yes, you, listening right now. I know you're listening. If you want this show to continue and continue improving our sound quality, our content, our production value, please do us a huge favor. You don't have to give us a dime out of your bank account. Just give the show 5 stars on Apple Podcasts and Spotify, and tell a friend that you listen to the show. You don't have to force it down their throats or anything. It doesn't have to be weird, you know what I'm saying. Just be like, hey, you listen to podcasts, I listen to podcasts, this is a good one. If you have friends where you have these type of conversations with them on the day-to-day, how would this not be up their alley? You know what I mean?
Thanks.
And now, jumping into the show. Hello, everybody, and welcome back to the Highly Suspicious Podcast with Louie and Preston. My name is Louie.
My name is Preston.
We're reporting once again live from the Trap House. An impromptu recording, if you will. We had an entire different episode lined up. We had a great conversation with Xavion, and that's still going to be on the way. That's still going to be coming out next week, but there was just something this week that just came out of nowhere.
Too hot of a topic to not.
And just became a thing where it was like, hey, we got time. We should do a current episode. We should do an episode on something that people are talking about right now. So, if you watch the show for any amount of time, you probably already know what we're about to be talking about. But on Sunday, it was announced that Kendrick Lamar would be doing the Super Bowl halftime show this year. And that wouldn't have been a topic on its own, and people were trying to make it a topic on its own, making it about, Drake and the beef and all this other stuff, and we'll talk about that. We'll talk about that for sure. Have you heard the Lil Wayne stuff about this?
I don't know. Is it in Louisiana?
Yeah, it's...
And he's from Louisiana, right?
Uh-huh.
So yeah, I've seen people saying, like, he's the obvious choice. Like, it seems like Kendrick pulled some strings to make this happen and take it away from Lil Wayne.
You did a good job of describing it. Basically, there is outrage right now towards Kendrick and also Jay-Z, who is someone who kind of works with the NFL now and works with, like, talent acquisition or something like that. Basically, he's supposed to be the one in charge of tapping in with the artists, getting primarily these Super Bowl halftime shows lined up. And I feel like he's done a pretty good job over the years, don't you think? Because he started
who have we
probably
had
like 5 years ago, and we got, like, The Weeknd was a really good one. We got that rap one where it was Dr. Dre and Snoop and Kendrick and Eminem and Mary J. Blige. Mm-hmm. And we'll get back to that one. And then it was Usher last year, and we kind of talked about all of those on the show, but I felt like that was the worst one, that Usher one.
Yeah.
And I think part of that was just because Usher's just an aging artist. His commercial peak was a while ago, and that's fine. But I feel like that's always been kind of what the Super Bowl halftime show did. They got these washed artists that they bring out of retirement because they're like, hey, you have a bunch of hits, you have a bunch of songs that people know. Yeah. Come on out here. Come on
that's
in.
all that it's really been about is, like, hit songs from, the past 20 years.
And I feel like that tone did shift a little bit with The Weeknd. Just getting someone who's just in their, like, commercial prime right now and just being able to, like, get songs that are, like, current hits. Like, he did, like, Blinding Lights, and that came out, like, the year before. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. Like, that's kind of new as far as the Super Bowl halftime show goes.
That's really all I had heard about it was the Lil Wayne thing. And everybody's joking like he's gonna do Not Like Us, like, 7 times.
Everyone's pissed off at Jay-Z, which makes a little more sense. But Kendrick, too, for even taking the Super Bowl halftime performance.
It's a big opportunity.
So, the reasoning behind that is something that I was trying to gather yesterday, and it started just by it seeming like a baseless thing, just people ignorantly saying, oh, Lil Wayne deserves the halftime show because he's from New Orleans and it's in New Orleans.
Yeah.
But then I saw a interview clip of Lil Wayne like years and years ago saying like, when that shit is in New Orleans, we're hoping, we're praying, and we got our fingers crossed that we're going to get to do it.
Damn.
And they didn't get to do it.
Damn.
And I think that there's something to be said about that he put it out in the universe and it just didn't happen.
Yeah.
But I don't really think that Wayne's just stewing in his apartment right now.
Yeah. I mean, has he even said anything about it?
Not a fucking thing.
I mean, we'll see this week. It did just kind of happen.
I bet that the most likely thing to happen is he's gonna have to release a statement saying like,
give Kendrick the
shout out to Kendrick. He's my guy. He deserves it.
Yeah.
Whatever. But just like the fan reaction is the craziest thing to me.
Yeah.
About all of this, that someone deserves the halftime show.
I mean, we've had some bullshit ones over the years.
We have.
It's not like the biggest deal.
I think that geography thing is like the biggest thing as far as why people are saying that Wayne like deserved it. Because if it was in just a random place, I don't think that they would be saying that.
Give it to an artist from blah blah blah. Yeah, no.
But if you look at this chart, it compares the performing artists' homes versus where they're performing in the Super Bowl, and outside of when they did the West Coast rap for the LA one, as you could see, none of these are meant to do that. None of these are. I mean, it wouldn't make sense, right? Because if you're doing the Super Bowl in like Charlotte or something, you shouldn't feel obligated to pick a Charlotte artist to do the Super Bowl when there are 1 billion people watching it worldwide. It has nothing to do with the actual fucking city it's in.
I mean, it's also like, I think about marketability, I think that it's just like easier. You know, Kendrick's been really hot this year. Easier to just be like, here you go. He'll do Good Kid, Mad City, like, hits, and maybe he'll do Not Like Us. Yeah. Maybe. But it'd be kind of crazy, and I could see them being like, you can't do that.
The geography is part of it, and the fans are being fucking crazy.
Yeah.
But some celebrities are also feeding into it right now. For example, Birdman said something like,
oh my God.
You know, there's some haters for not putting Wayne in the Super Bowl.
He's gonna have to make a statement at that point. Like, if there are other celebrities saying shit about it.
But Birdman was like his OG, the guy who signed him, basically. But there's some bad blood there because Lil Wayne had to sue this guy to get his last album out. So for the fake anger there of saying they're hating on us, bruh. Who's us, bruh?
There ain't no us.
Wayne don't even fuck with you. He sued you.
Damn. Absolutely.
Just trying to get their name out there, trying to get some attention for it. And Nicki Minaj signed to Wayne in like 2010 or whatever when she popped off, and Lil Wayne did a good job of getting her to become as huge as she is. Mm-hmm. But Nicki does just pop out to say some controversial shit in hopes.
That's a thing for her, honestly.
Likes to be controversial. Likes to say things that
are inflammatory.
That will get people like us to talk about on the podcast. Well, guess what, Nicki? We're giving you what you want.
You did it.
And we've been stepping on Taylor Swift's fan base a lot. We haven't really gotten a lot of negative feedback from
Louis.
But barbs make Taylor Swift fans look soft. Barbs are going to be in our comments in our description after posting this. I'm just saying we should be ready for it. But Nicki Minaj said, these are somewhat out of order, so I'll try to read a bit of order. But Nicki Minaj said, one dude took a knee, the other dude took a bag. He gon' get you, quote unquote, N-words hard R in line every fucking time. So what she's talking about there is talking about Jay-Z getting the bag from the NFL, which was kind of to repair their reputation with certain people in the world that were alienated by the whole Colin Kaepernick thing. My problem with that is you can't say that now. You can't say that when they do something to piss you off. You can't just call racist because your friend Lil Wayne didn't get the bag, didn't get the Super Bowl halftime performance.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So just like that fake activism, this is what they call fake woke.
Yeah.
But no one's gonna call it that because that means something entirely different now. But this is what that is, calling out,
Yeah.
Jay-Z is bad because he took money from the racist NFL, and it's like, okay, you didn't have a problem with that 5 years ago when The Weeknd was performing. You didn't have a problem with it 4 years ago when Dr. Dre and Snoop Dogg were on the stage. You didn't care last year when Usher was on the stage doing his little dance and song and dance. So it's just like, for people to see that and be like, yeah, Nicki, it's just like, no brain cells. None.
Because she could say whatever, and that fan base would be like, yes.
So this might even be worse. So, Nicki Minaj said, denying a young black man what he rightfully put into this game for no other reason but your ego. Your hatred for Birdman, Drake, and Nicki got you punishing Lil Wayne, ? Etc. The GOAT? Eminem stood firm on having 50 Cent come out a white man. Shit sad. House N-word hard R tings.
Damn.
No loyalty, then y'all will keep sunning you. She starts using words where I don't even know what the fuck she's talking about. I don't know what Fidel God. You see what the fuck I'm looking at? She's just having a fucking lapse insanity right there. Where she's going full nonverbal in this tweet. So, pretty much everything about this tweet is wrong. Denying a young black man. Lil Wayne's 50, okay? So, first of all, cut that shit.
Kendrick's younger, so...
He was a rapper in the 90s.
Yeah.
He came out in the fucking 90s.
Yeah.
He's not a young... But whatever. Denying him what he rightfully put into this game. Again, we're talking about deserving.
Yeah. Also, just because somebody said it once doesn't mean that they're entitled to it. I don't think you get to say shotgun on doing the fucking halftime show at the Super Bowl.
Yeah, it's like, I want to do the next halftime show.
Guess we're entitled to it right now.
Highly suspicious of the next halftime show. Are you all going to ride for me when...
Because we said it? Like, what the fuck?
When the Super Bowl's in Louisville, can we do it? Do we have to do it? Because of... Just ridiculous. Just ridiculous.
I mean, seriously, it's the same as if any person publicly said, in any state, if the Super Bowl was here, I'd like to do the halftime show.
Yeah.
God willing, or whatever the fuck. And then, just acting like that's a contract, like, I am entitled to do that.
So then she says, your hatred for Birdman, Drake, and Nicki got you punishing Lil Wayne. You see how she's just shoehorning herself in here?
I was going to say,
you all hate Nicki. You all hate Nicki, so you're blackballing Lil Wayne. Do you realize how fucking insane you sound right now? It has nothing to do with you.
I think it's
Jay-Z just hates
celebrity, you know?
Jay-Z just hates Nicki Minaj, so because of that, Lil Wayne can't perform at the halftime show. What are we talking about? Nonsense.
That is actual nonsense.
And with the Drake thing, this is where we can kind of start to get into the beef thing. I just didn't want to talk about all of this shit before this because it would kind of render a lot of this pointless. But Nicki's opinion fits with a lot of people. A lot of people think that this is Jay-Z hating on Drake. This is
Kendrick's an announcement did seem like a shot at Drake still.
It was. It was.
There's no round 2.
Uh-huh. It absolutely was. Do not get me wrong. But a lot of people are even going as far as saying that Kendrick would not be doing this halftime show if there was not the beef. He would not be getting the invitation even.
Maybe.
I don't think maybe.
But
Because
do we live in a reality where that didn't happen? No. So he's still a hot topic.
For sure.
You know?
Yeah. It's a dumb hypothetical to be like, what if the beef didn't even happen? Because it's just like...
It did. So what
we
the
were
fuck
there.
do you care?
I was awake on that Saturday night where Family Ties, Family Matters comes out, and then Meet the Grams comes out 15 minutes later. I was there for that. We chronicled the entire journey on this show.
That is so insane. I forgot how insane that was.
So this shit is on wax. This shit happened. So no backsies.
Yeah.
But also, I have news for these people that they must not know. Kendrick's already done the halftime show.
Yeah.
He's been a part of the halftime show. And the response to that would obviously be, he did one song next to a ton of other huge rappers, but it's just like...
So?
He was fucking there.
He was still there.
He did...
I think that would be a sounder argument for why Lil Wayne should have been the one to do it.
Because Kendrick already did it.
Because Kendrick's already done
way.
it in some way.
Yeah.
That's
especially
a more
recently.
valid argument than...
Yeah.
He's from New Orleans.
Yeah.
He said he'd like to do it once.
And no one's saying that, though. No one's making logical sense here, Preston.
You know?
Just madness. So, going into the beef part of it, you highlighted it perfectly. You said there's no round 2s, and that's a direct response to Drake put something on his story where it was a clip of Rasheed Wallace with the Pistons saying, "We will win game 2."
Mm-hmm.
And that seemed to be obviously in reference to the beef. Drake posted that. And this is Kendrick basically saying, "Nah, little bro, this shit is over."
Yeah, it been over. There's no round 2.
And so, this whole serendipitous moment, this does look calculated in a certain way where it's like...
Kinda.
When the original song that pissed Kendrick off was First Person Shooter, where the hook of that song is big as the Super Bowl, big as the what? So, for all of this to end up with that being the result, it is pretty crazy. It is pretty much like Kendrick putting his stamp on.
You think Jay-Z does hate Drake that much to be like, you know what? Come call him a pedophile on the biggest stage.
I don't think
televised stage in the fucking year, you know?
Jay-Z and Drake have had their problems over the years. They've had moments where they've been beefing. They've had moments where they've been cool again. They've made up and broke up a ton of times. Mm-hmm. So, for me, when you examine something like that from afar, from our perspective, someone who doesn't know fucking anything about it, it doesn't seem like whatever issue that's there is just...
that serious.
That serious, yeah. Because if it was that serious...
Versus how Kendrick's like,
you would be making...
Fuck you, fuck your mom, fuck your dad.
Yeah.
Hate the way you talk, the way you walk.
Exactly. But going into this whole beef thing, and I've already kind of been talking about the bullshit arguments behind the beef.
Yeah.
You know what the biggest power move would be for Kendrick on this show? What if he just didn't even play Not Like Us?
He might.
What if he just said, I'm going to let my hits that have nothing to do with Drake speak for themselves.
Yeah.
And he could still make a great set like that. He could do Mad City, Bitch Don't Kill My Vibe.
He could do plenty of shit.
Money Trees.
Yeah. All the hits.
You know, Alright, King Kunta, fucking DNA, Humble, Love,
King
Loyalty.
Kunta would go hard at the Super Bowl.
So with all of that, he doesn't even need to play the beef songs. And that would probably make Drake more pissed off than anything.
Irrelevant. I didn't even have to do it.
Because, that shit is over.
Yeah. There's no round 2.
Yeah, no round 2. Exactly. Do you think that they're definitely going to play Not Like Us in the Super Bowl? Because
it's so possible. You know what would be actually fucked up?
What?
He does a full set, few songs, all classic, Kendrick shit.
Uh-huh.
And then, like, for an encore performance, ends up doing Not Like Us. Like, you thought he wasn't gonna do it.
But then
then the audience is like, encore, encore. And he's like, alright, I didn't want to do it to him.
So this goes back to the Lil Wayne thing, but also goes into this conversation about Not Like Us here. They need someone who's clean enough for the big screen, for something that
absolutely
the smallest kids are going to watch and the oldest white people on earth are also going to watch, with the delicatest of sensibilities. So that is probably a big reason why they didn't tap Lil Wayne for this, because
I also don't think Lil Wayne would have been the most marketable.
He raps so much about pussy. Kendrick does too, but a lot
in a more poetic way.
A lot of Wayne's raps are wordplay about pussies. You know what I mean? I love Lil Wayne, but that just makes it, you can censor. There's the clean version where you censor just a couple of the words, or you could even replace them with other words where it still fits. And then there's someone like Wayne where there's going to be entire bars in his songs that you just can't even fucking say. And just, him coming out there with face tattoos and having convicted felony and, coming out of jail and
that's a
stuff
more
like
valid
that.
Conversation to say, why didn't this man get it?
Yeah.
Than any of the other bullshit that's being said.
And then if you wanted to say, hey, that's bullshit that...
Yeah, that he's not marketable and he's from there.
They want the whitewashed black artist. They don't want...
absolutely.
They don't want Lil Wayne, one of the greatest cultural influencers of all time.
Yeah.
But again, those aren't the conversations being had. But going back to Not Like Us... That's going to be a hard song to, censor in a way for the halftime show.
That wouldn't really be possible either.
What's he going to say instead of certified pedophiles? Just nothing? Certified. A minor. I don't even know if he could say that.
I don't know, maybe. I feel like he'd be able to say that one.
Because it is veiled enough where maybe he could have that plausible deniability.
But then there's also, say Drake. I hear you like I'm young. Better never catch you in cell block 1. I mean, that's all so obvious, too. You can't really be saying that at the Super Bowl either. I think it's totally possible him being there's no round 2s in his announcement is, enough of a shot, and then it's, don't start none if you don't want none, sort of, at this point. So it's, if he doesn't do anything at the halftime show to get a response from Drake, then it's it is over. Unless Drake decides, you know what? I want to get my ass whooped again.
You know what the easiest layup would be for all of this, though? If Kendrick is probably going to bring someone out at the Super Bowl, some guest.
Yeah.
And it could easily be Lil Wayne.
That'd be kind of sick.
They could do Mona Lisa together. Everyone loves that song. I fucking hate that song. So I will be angrily live tweeting when that happens.
I called it.
Even if it has to be true, I'm still going to be mad. Why are they playing this bullshit ass song?
Yeah.
But you wouldn't even need to do Not Like Us at that point. You're getting Drake's guy, Drake's OG, to get on stage with you after just destroying Drake. I mean, that would be crazy.
Yeah.
And in the video, he's shooting that football gun.
Yeah.
Off the screen.
Yeah.
Someone's over there catching it.
Yeah.
I think that's the implication that's kind of him saying, hey,
else,
it's not going to be just Kendrick. Someone else is going to be up there.
Yeah.
And for it to be a surprise guest.
And he's like that,
it would make sense to be Lil Wayne. And that might be why Lil Wayne hasn't said anything.
Yeah.
And if Lil Wayne doesn't say anything, then that's pretty much confirmed that that's what's going to happen. You know what I mean?
Maybe, yeah.
Because there's enough... I mean, all these huge people are talking about this shit.
Yeah.
But that would be a way where Kendrick would just win over everybody. Even the people saying that it was disrespectful of him to accept it. But I do think that a lot of people are saying, like, since the halftime shows in February, we're definitely getting a new Kendrick album by then. But I kind of think it might be the opposite. It might be where the Super Bowl is just part of his promo run for the album.
Yeah.
And the album could come out after that. That would make more sense to me than, him releasing a brand new album and then having brand new songs up there, unless he just has some certified hits in the chamber.
Yeah.
That are just going to be... But that's what I'm saying. You don't want to play... If you're doing the Super Bowl, you don't want to play shit that people don't even know yet.
Yeah.
So I feel like the time frame of him dropping before the Super Bowl, he needs to do it like right now if he wants to have a new hit with legs.
Yeah.
For that.
I mean, I don't know. You feel like there's anything off of Miss Morale that could be for the halftime show?
I don't know, because...
Otherwise, I think it'll be Damn and Good Kid, Mad City.
He could just do all of Damn, and everyone would be happy.
Yeah,
Except for, the diehard Kendrick fans that are like, you should have played Sing About Me, I'm Dying of Thirst during the Super Bowl. And it's just going to be like, well, that wasn't going to happen.
Yeah, that would be fucking stupid. That would be fucking crazy if he drops this year.
I think we named pretty much all of his hits. Who do you think's most likely to come out besides Lil Wayne? Would it be like Baby Keem?
Yeah, it could be.
Could it be like J-Rock or somebody like that?
That'd be nuts. Is there anybody else from New Orleans or Louisiana?
Not really.
Then
Big Crit. He could bring Big Crit out there.
I feel like if
that would just be the biggest troll. We couldn't get Lil Wayne.
He was too mad that he wasn't performing.
Yeah, he was too salty that he wasn't the only one whose halftime show it was. Man, that was a lot of stuff. Do you mind if I give us a post-beef breakdown right now?
Sure.
So, after Not Like Us, Kendrick Lamar has released nothing unless you count that little snippet of new song in that Not Like Us video.
Oh, yeah.
That went so hard. But he hasn't released a song. He's just like, if Not Like Us is still number one, what the fuck motivation do I have to release new music?
Yeah.
Like this shit is still huge.
God damn, that is crazy.
For it to be football season, and, the bands are going to be playing that shit, doo-doo-doo-doo-doo-doo-doo, stuff like that. Like, he has no reason why he needs to drop shit. But that does remind me. I went to 2 football games this weekend. Yeah. I went to the Louisville game, and then I went to the Colts game the next day. So, I heard Not Like Us twice.
Damn.
At both the games, I heard it once. And then I heard Like That no less than 1,000 times.
Sick.
Because the Colts have that as like their...
That's really funny.
It's like their third down song, I think. So every single time it's like... Do-do-do-do-do-do-do-do-do. And I'm next to Unk, and I'm just like...
Yeah.
Sticking to the code. Everybody from the streets.
That's fucking sick.
But Drake's taken the opposite approach. He has not listened to our advice of saying that... I mean, we said that pretty much at the time, that he needs to just go away for a while, make people realize how boring rap is without Drake, whether or not we believe that to be true.
Yeah.
He should have just gone away for a little bit, made it where he looks less corny right now with all of this attention-grabbing stuff, all this stuff where he's trying to get... So, pretty much everything that he's done post-beef has been a flop.
Damn.
He was on a Sexy Red song. That was the one where he raps over a sample of BBL Drizzy.
Yeah.
And he actually flipped that pretty good, but the problem with that song was that Sexy Red was on there, and she's trying to do this, like, singing thing.
Yeah.
Horrible song. There's a reason why no one listened to it. It didn't even debut in the top 100, I don't think.
Damn.
And then he came out with 2 songs with Camila Cabello, which is a pop star. She had that song with Young Thug a couple years ago, Havana, na na na.
Mm-hmm.
That was a huge fucking song.
Huge fucking song.
Both those didn't have any emotion at all. He had a song with Gordo. You don't even know who that is. Flop. And then he's put out this 100 gigs thing where it's like there's been 100 gigabytes of stuff leaked from Drake, but it's a thing where he's leaking his shit himself, trying to manufacture some hype.
I remember hearing about that.
And that was confirmed when he puts out the songs that were on there in like a EP called 100 Gigs, quote unquote.
Oh my god. That's so fucking stupid.
And he had a song with Young Thug and 21 Savage that I think did somewhat well. But other than that, like, there's a song on there where he says something about, like, there's Kendrick subliminals on one of these songs, and it just did nothing for him. And he took it off of his Spotify. He deleted the song because he was like, I put out subliminals at Kendrick and no one even seems to care.
Yep.
Maybe I did lose this shit,
yep.
bro. Let me see what he said exactly.
Honestly, just deleting anything from Spotify.
Yeah, exactly.
Like acting like it never happened.
Because what that does, it's like the same thing as when you post something on Instagram and it doesn't get the likes and comments that you want, so you fucking delete that shit off the internet.
Yeah.
Like, that shit is sad, bro.
Yeah.
That shit is sad, bro. So let me find these lyrics.
Also, I think all that gets saved to, like, the Internet Archive. The Internet Archive is super on that shit.
It exists.
Yeah.
And it was like, news that people are like, hey, he took down that one song.
Yeah.
But he says, please write my father and tell him I found some fortune and fame. They're going to try to behead me and speak on the family name. So, doesn't take a fucking genius to realize who that's about. But it's also just like, you spoke on the family name first, Drake. So I don't know how you're flipping it and making it like, he's mean because he talked about my dad and my problems with my dad.
Yeah.
And it's just like, he still doesn't even realize what Kendrick was really saying there. He was saying that your whole habits are mirrored off of your deadbeat dad.
Yeah.
Who turned you into a deadbeat dad. He still doesn't even realize that. But hey, you try to help some people, sometimes it just doesn't work.
Nope.
But yeah, Drake is floundering. He has so much pressure for this next release. If he releases a bad album, oh buddy. Oh man, it is not going to be pretty out in these streets.
Yeah.
And judging by the content that he's putting out now, it won't be. I don't think it will be. There is an unspoken pressure on Kendrick right now for his next album, don't you think?
A bit, yeah.
Because if he comes out with another, like, Mr. Morale type album that we'll love, but the overall audience won't really give a fuck about it.
That's not for the radio, man.
Then people are going to look at this whole beef in a little bit of a different light, saying, maybe Kendrick did need that attention from all of that.
Yeah.
So him coming out with a big album, I think he's going to be able to do it. I think he's going to do it.
Yeah.
It's just a matter of if he does it. Because anything can happen.
Totally.
Okay, I think we talked enough about this, unless you have any other takes.
No, I feel like we've covered a lot of it before, and just like what can be said about what's happening right now.
Let's do a little switch up. So, musical intermission, I've been listening to the new album by Magdalena Bay, and it's getting a lot of attention right now, and for good reason, I think. I don't think it's quite doing the numbers it should be doing yet, so I think it is a little bit slept on still, but it's getting a lot of hype, especially from like critics and stuff right now. But as always, we encourage you all to play along with us. We can't play the whole song on here because, copyright reasons and all that stuff. but I'm going to be playing the music video today at risk of us only talking about the music video afterwards. But this is my favorite song on here. It's just an insane music video, so I gotta play it. Image by Magdalena Bay. I don't even think I said it. So that was Image by Magdalena Bay. So the album is called Imaginal Disc, and that's what the advertisement is for in that video. It's this thing that they're fucking putting in your head. It's like a CD, DVD, laser disc, whatever you want to call it, that is put like into your brain, basically. Like
that's the album cover.
Yeah, and so there's this whole like sci-fi epic narrative going on this album that is kind of hard to discern like what exactly they're talking about, but because of that, it's kind of like a Kendrick album or like a Lupe album for me, where I'm listening because I fuck with the music, but I'm also listening to it because I'm like, I want to figure out what the fuck is going on.
Yeah, dissect it a bit.
Like, what the hell did we just watch, Preston?
Power of advertising? I don't know. That's kind of what I got. Being subjected to media.
So this imaginal disc, I think it's somewhat like the thing in 2001: A Space Odyssey, that thing that the monkeys touch, and then they start using tools and stuff, and it basically jumps them forward in evolution. So I think it's either a metaphor for like how technology has augmented our lives already.
Totally.
Or maybe it's about like this next jump that humans are going to take with like artificial intelligence and stuff like that. It makes you think of like Elon's Neuralink when you think of
totally makes me think of Neuralink.
That it's something that you put in your head and it makes you happy and it makes you better and all this stuff might make you smarter. It's hard to tell.
Well, imaginal. What if it's like next step in creativity is and it could be AI related then. Yeah. So augmented creativity.
But yeah, just off of the music alone, like, that's a great song to me. We had a conversation on here with Slang Words when they were here. No, that was the conversation we had with JV Film Club, wasn't it? About alternative music.
Yeah.
And we were kind of poking fun at it because it was like,
it's
what
broad,
even is alternative? It's, not really anything in particular, but I feel like this is best described as alternative because it's in a space.
It's alternative pop.
It doesn't fit in one specific category. This is one of the more pop-like songs on there, for sure. But there are some songs on there that there's not even really like a true chorus where they're not even really like singing on it, and it really like, to me, breaks down like some of the conventionality in music, saying like, we can make music however the fuck we want.
Totally.
And a lot of their past music, which I've been into, has been, strictly pop, strictly
their description on Spotify is synth pop straight from the simulation. I was saying, it's interesting that I've been listening to Sylvanesso a little bit more. Mm-hmm. When they're probably about as far towards like pop, electric pop that I will go. Because you know how I feel about like techno-y sort of sounds. But it's funny because their description right now is pop music for feeling feelings.
I've never listened to them.
They're pretty good. You like them. They got a good variety to them. They actually just had a release. But I think it's interesting. I totally get what you're saying about it being like Neuralink, like something about technology and culture. I mean, have you seen interviews with the first human Neuralink recipient?
Mm-mm.
He's like a pro gamer, but he's also like, I think, disabled. So
he's playing it with his mind.
Yeah, he's playing it with his mind a little bit, and he said that the like target assist on there, like it reacts to him beginning to think about aiming before he actually would have moved it. And so he's like, eventually there will have to be a league of like competitive gamers for people like me with this sort of artificial edge.
Yeah.
And so it's like, what if we do get to a point where it's like, I mean, we just had that, who was it that we had that song with the AI? JPEG, yeah. With the AI feature or sample where it's like, if music and art are moving in that direction, you know, what will define creativity at a certain point?
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, when I used to be really into Counter-Strike when I was like in middle school, I would stay up late as fucking play it. And then at a certain time of the night, the people in China would start waking up.
Damn.
And you could tell because they would have all the crazy characters that I don't understand in their name. And that would be the time to get off because they would smoke us. They were just so much better than us. And just like, that's going to be the same type of thing with this,
that's so funny.
This AI stuff.
Yeah.
Where that's not even going to be fair at a certain point.
Yeah.
You could already smoke me in COD without a fucking thing like that. Anyways. But was that too techno-y for you?
Nah. It's interesting because like I like aspects of disco, and there is some overlap there, you know. But I think it's about like the stylization of it,
used, yeah.
where synths can be good. I can like synths mixed with other shit, and I think that's enough.
I do love synths
to match with the vocals there, that it balances out, that I can appreciate it, and it's not just like robotic sound from the void.
It's not like dubstep.
Yeah, exactly, which is the epitome of techno bullshit.
So yeah, I could talk about that all day, but go check them out if you haven't. Go check out that album in particular if you haven't. I think you would probably like it if you check it out, because
I probably will.
Because there's
you said there's a little variety on there?
Yeah, there's some great piano work on there.
Oh, that's
there's
cool.
some, different instrumental type of things on there. Anyways, this is the back half of the show where we begin to meander into nothingness, is usually the way I describe it, but some people might hear that and think that that's just like a negative thing.
No,
but that's just how...
It's just more lighthearted.
That's just how you naturally talk when...
Yeah, you have your topic and then you can kind of...
Because we don't have to talk about anything in particular
at
in
this
that
point,
way.
Yeah. We've covered what we had to talk about.
We don't have to do 40 minutes on Kendrick Lamar halftime show. We can do anything that we want now. Let's see. Here's something that I screenshotted, unless you have something.
No.
The search is underway for new Harry Potter stars.
Really?
HBO is doing a TV show.
No.
And so they're looking for children that will replace Harry, Ron, and Hermione.
Wow. And
that doesn't mean that they're getting new characters. It means that it's the same characters, just different actors.
Yeah.
You think that's going to be any good?
Fuck no.
Is there any world where it could be made good?
I think that it's so funny because there's so much shit on HBO that I like so many original series that are so good.
For sure.
And then for them to just be coming out with like The Rings of Power and like other
Velma.
just other random bullshit that nobody asked for. Just like, why? Also, like, we've talked about art and artist and blah 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 on the podcast, but as shit goes on, especially with the Olympics having just happened, and just with how vocal J.K. Rowling is around that kind of shit, it's present in my mind. I can enjoy Harry Potter when I'm not thinking about that. I have nostalgia for it. I read all the books as a kid. I'm like an OG fan. But at a certain point, I don't want to fucking think about that woman and her bigoted bullshit. And so it's like, I know she's getting money from that.
But do you think that HBO kind of taking control of it, making it their own thing? Do you think that that's kind of...
It's still based off of her work.
Yeah.
And she's still definitely going to get credit and money from it. And that's my thing. Where I'm like, you know what? Consume the media that's already out there, whatever. She sees pennies to the dollar for every time, Harry Potter's fucking streamed or whatever. Or book sales, but there's so many in circulation, it's not like it's fresh off the press where it actually goes to her anyway.
Right.
So it's like, whatever. I think most recently that Harry Potter game came out, and people were kind of protesting that. Mm-hmm. But it's funny, too, because from what I've seen, the gameplay actually looks decent.
I actually like J.K. Rowling. No, I'm not going to...
Devil's advocate?
That would be crazy. I think it's hard because it's like... I play favorites. I am currently having double standards because I enjoy Harry Potter, but some artists I won't listen to or stream because of their views or some of the things like Kanye. I try not to stream like that because of his views and stuff like that. Yeah. But with J.K. Rowling, I feel like
I give Kanye more of a pass. I'm like, that motherfucker mentally ill
for sure. But just like with Harry Potter, I'm at the point of no return because we've bought the movies. I've gone to fucking Harry Potter World and all this shit. It's not like I can just take that monetary support back. Yeah. And at a certain point, it is just like, she's a fucking billionaire.
Yeah, either
it's not
way.
Like,
cancel culture isn't real. We've talked about that.
It's not like me watching shit on HBO is going to make her break
I think
her.
it's just about my enjoyability with it. Like, my brother loves it. And he put on one of the movies the other day, and I was like, I'm not even really going to watch this if I'm being honest. Like, there's a point in time where I would be like, hell yeah, Harry Potter. I read all the books in elementary school. There's big nostalgia factor there for me. But it's just like, at a certain point, if it's on, there's a little part of me in the back of my head that's thinking about her transphobic bullshit. I can't get out of there.
I think you did a good job of describing my double standard for me because that's really the real reason. Because, like, hearing Kanye trying to be, playful and rap about women and stuff like that, it's like, I can't take playful Kanye seriously when, he
some
said
of that other shit,
some of the most hurtful things to certain communities in the world.
Absolutely.
You know what I mean? And, we talked about this when we had Clark on the show last, but just like the evolution of things becoming separate from the original
their source
author. Because there'd be something to be said about, like, J.K., the book specifically, because they're specifically from the mind of J.K. Rowling, but, like, with the movies, it's like, okay, you got a director that's putting their heart and soul in this. You got Daniel Radcliffe and all these
and,
great actors and actresses.
And,
So at a certain point, it's like, it's so much bigger than just the one man. But I definitely understand where you're coming from as far as that little voice in the back of your head telling you, J.K. Rowling made Harry Potter transphobic, and I don't really like it.
What if he is?
I do think it's interesting rebooting movies into a TV show. Yeah. Because I've kind of thought about this on my own. Just like the format of TV shows is so different from movies.
Or, like, the pacing, even.
Yeah, for sure.
That's a huge, but, like, kind of small scale-wise difference. Like, people wouldn't really jump to thinking about that, but that affects storytelling so much.
But to me, the only way you would make something like this work is if you change the story enough where it's worth watching, Because you got to give me a reason other than telling the same story that's already been told in my opinion, a peak way.
Did you watch any of the Percy Jackson series? Did you
movies?
You know that they did a show of that already?
I haven't watched it, but
it's on Disney Plus. I remember hearing about that. That was one of those things I had to look up before bringing up, just to be like, was that fucking real?
Or was that a dream?
Yeah. Because I think it's really funny that had a movie series after Harry Potter, but got a TV show adaptation before Harry Potter.
I think part of that was probably just because of how Percy Jackson, the movies, kind of flopped.
Yeah, totally. They were like, you know what, we can try to do this again.
Yeah, exactly.
Totally.
And you gotta think, too, Harry Potter tried to do the Fantastic Beasts and that bullshit.
Yeah. I don't know, the first one was good.
The first one was fine. That's how I feel about it, but I liked it.
When I say good, I mean good enough to watch.
For sure, yeah. I understand. I'm right there with you. But that first Percy Jackson movie was awesome. Yeah. I want to rewatch that sometime, because just like
I think that does have some rewatchability.
The creativity it inspired in me, just like the cool concepts and stuff like that. The Minotaur, people are half God, basically putting Greek mythology into like a young adult type of shit.
I like it conceptually more than Harry Potter, almost. Of like,
I can see that.
Like, the wizards have their own society that's like hidden from the rest of us in Harry Potter, versus it being like hidden in plain sight. With the Percy Jackson series. Yeah. I think that's more interesting as like a concept versus having it be this whole separate thing.
And just like the concept of it in general is like Harry Potter, just like, oh, there's wizards and it's some magic wizard shit in there, and it's just like, yeah. It is done in
Wizard Jesus.
It's done in the best way
He's the chosen
possible. One. But yeah, just off of creativity, just saying, I'm Zeus's son. So I kind of have some of Zeus's powers, but I'm trying to learn.
Greek mythology is such a niche interest for plenty of people that like the automatic fan base is there. Versus J.K. Rowling had to have like her big break sort of deal with the Harry Potter series.
For sure. The real reason why Hollywood dried up?
Tell me, Louis.
Because they stopped dropping those fire young adult series that had that crossover appeal, because that really was like the Harry Potter effect, because after that it was like Hunger Games and Divergent. And Percy Jackson, even though that wasn't successful, and all of these really good books that became good content to be like, hey, we can turn this into a movie.
Yeah.
And that's just there's been a void in writing books in general. So that's been...
I would say specifically to that like age range too, because young adults aren't reading anymore. Like, YA fiction can't really exist in the age of TikTok like that.
I think that there is an argument, though.
I mean, fucking literacy rates are down enough.
Oh, for sure. But I think just overall, too, just looking at, like, there aren't as many books that come out because people in general aren't reading as much. Yeah. So there's something to be said about, like, what was the last, like, huge book to come out and drop and be like, I mean, maybe like Gone Girl?
Maybe. I get what you're saying, yeah. I feel like it's even funnier because now what I'll hear as like a big
Twilight. Sorry.
What I'll hear is like a big book drop is like, oh, Obama wrote a new book.
Yeah.
New York Times bestseller.
This celebrity that you don't really care about dropped a book.
Martha Stewart's
memoir. I wonder if they had a tough time coming up as a child. With celebrities, like, I wonder if they struggle with drug addiction at any point in my life. God, I can't wait to read about this.
Yeah. Shit that's been covered in the news.
Yeah. Exactly. And
a compilation of magazines.
And with a lot of those, it's like we don't even know that they really wrote the book. Because a lot of the times, like, is Johnny Depp really pinning, like, the great American novel, even if it is his own memories? Probably not.
Nah. You got
And those are really just, like, bad Christmas gifts as far as being like, Preston, you like...
Oh my fucking god, you're so right.
Preston, you like Talib Kweli. I'm going to give you Talib Kweli's book for your Christmas present.
Is it too early to be buying Christmas presents, Louis?
Fuck yeah, it is.
I don't know. This is reminding me that maybe my grandma would like Obama's memoir.
Would she? Would she really, or are you just putting that on her because she likes Obama?
She probably would. She might already have it, if I'm being fucking honest.
Yep, that's the thing.
Also, it's Grandparents' Day.
Happy Grandparents' Day. Rest in peace to all of my grandparents.
Damn. So ain't nobody praying for me.
Yeah, facts. All my grandma's dead. I got nothing.
I got nothing either. I think we covered plenty.
Yeah. Speaking of covered, Louisville on Saturday was 29.5-point favorites against Jacksonville State. And at the very end of the game, in garbage time when we were up like 25 points,
damn,
a running back just decided, hey, I'm going to get a touchdown. I'm going to deliver to every person who is still in the stadium that is definitely just sitting here waiting to see if their parlays are coming.
Mm-hmm.
That's what a good team does. They deliver for that fan base. I was with Unc at the Colts game, and he was like, I saw that the Colts were only 2.5-point underdogs in this game, so I bet $100 on it. I was like, okay, wow. Go off, I guess. And then as the game progresses, he bets more and more money, and at a certain point, he's
gotta love that live betting.
Yeah, he's like, I have $400 on the Colts. I need them to cover so bad. And
oh my god.
And they just barely cover. They just they lose by 2, which is still covering. But yeah. Don't gamble, kids. It's not worth it.
Unless you feel very confident or know some inside information.
Yeah. If you're Tanya Harding
or don't give a fuck about the money
and you're breaking somebody's legs, then you can take the under.
Damn.
Hi, Boomy.
That's pretty real.
Are you a gambler?
I always joke that I don't like to gamble unless I feel like I know, you know? Yeah. And that's it sounds like nonsense, but I think there's a logic to it. Like, there are definitely some gambles where you're like, I like my odds. Mm-hmm. I can feel confident, and if something does go wrong, I can be like, you know what? I was robbed. I was supposed to get that money.
I like roulette for that reason, because it's not exactly 50-50, but it's pretty fucking close to it.
Pretty fucking close.
Yeah, I was like, yeah, that's the best odds that you can get in a casino, and this one guy who I was chilling with was like, nope, there are the 2 green spots on the table that aren't red or black. And I was just like, damn, if I had a bag on the roulette and it went fucking green, I would be like, what the fuck, yo?
Damn, you right.
I've never seen that.
Nah.
Those are like the people that bet the white in Colorama. Where you're like, it's like a 1 inch.
What are the odds? What odds does that make it, though?
50-1, I guess, because there's 2 out of 100. So I would think it would be 50-1. But I don't know.
Yeah, that would be. That's kind of, dude. That's a fucking crazy bet. That's insane.
Just gonna stand at the roulette table and bet green until I'm out of money or am I rich?
I mean, it's bound to happen eventually. What's the best way to do that, though? Like, if you just go to the... It's like people who get a lottery card, like, every day or a couple every paycheck or whatever. Mm-hmm. And it's like, you feel like because you're buying more, you're increasing your odds. So it's like, if you went to the casino every night and just did however many rounds, betting 50-1 odds...
It would eventually hit.
It would eventually hit.
Which is untrue about lottery tickets, because...
Facts.
Because every time there's a lottery drawing, it doesn't even necessarily produce a winner. So it's just like...
There's just too many people and too many lottery tickets for that to be the case.
But it's the numbers, too. You gotta have, like, what is it, like 5 specific numbers out of, like, 100?
Yeah.
Good luck with that.
I know.
Don't play the lottery. If you want to disregard my advice and gamble, that's fine. That's your money.
But the lottery's not a gamble.
But lottery is...
You have no control over the lottery.
Yeah, you have, like, no chance. You are 1,000% better off just making, like, a 12-leg parlay this weekend.
Oh,
and
absolutely.
just picking random numbers.
Honestly, parlays are good bets, too. Like,
yeah. If
you are going to gamble, I think that's one of the ways to do it.
Do not gamble, but I'm going to show you how.
Here
are the tools.
If I do end up going to a casino at some point, it seems overstimulating, not like my kind of place. But if I was to, I would want to like brush up on my poker a little bit. Like play a game. I might walk away with a little something. It'd be kind of nice. If I, lose some, I'm only going to the casino with money that I'm prepared to lose anyway.
Yeah, for sure.
And, maybe I'll do a few slots. I know people who've made like $200 going to Vegas and just doing like $5 to $10 on the slot machines. And you make a little profit that way. Mm-hmm. I feel like if you're going to do it, there's a responsible and mature way to go about it.
I've heard that people have done well with the slots. I don't believe it.
I don't either. It doesn't make sense to me. But I know plenty of people that have been like, yeah, I've spent like $100 at the casino doing just slots and made a couple $100 off of it.
Are these people all paid off by the slot machine companies? Like, I don't get it. Are there secret agents in our lives?
I want to know because they're, how it's like people that work at like the slot machine factory and shit, like they can't go and do the slots because they know how many times it can go through. So basically, like, from your last payout, you can sort of track when the next one will be. It's really weird. Like, there has to be a logic to it for them to not be able to do it. And so I bet it's out there somewhere, right? Like, the internet's a massive place. Somebody has to have put how the slot machines work out there.
But you'd have to Google how to win at gambling. And I'm not that desperate.
What if you ask ChatGPT?
Then it would know.
That's going to be the next thing that they're going to have to watch out for at casinos is like smart glasses and shit like that because their Google AI is going to be counting cards. Counting cards isn't even that hard.
Preston banned from every casino.
I've played enough, like, slow games of poker to, like, keep track of shit. Where I'm like, alright, I know there's only one ace left out there.
But isn't it just, like, probability at a certain point? So I don't know how you would even get caught for doing that. You know what I mean? If you're playing 5 card and you have 2 of a kind and another one flips over on the flop, it's just like, well, there's there's one more in the deck, and it's probably not about to turn over.
Yeah, for sure. I think all that shit's mostly just about when the casino's like, we can't lose money, house always wins.
Yeah.
And then they kick you out. And it's the same as, like, a RICO charge, where they're just like, we feel like you have to be cheating.
Yeah. I like the idea of cheating the system and robbing this institution of institutionalized gambling.
Yeah, for sure.
That just robs people blind every day, every week, every
Old
year.
people, especially.
Yeah.
That's the fucked up thing.
That's what you'll see at Caesar's Casino if you go there. Just a bunch of
Old
crusty
heads.
dusty sitting at the slots, chain smoking, and it's just like, wow, this place is glorious.
Go ask them their ways.
Is that the Not Like Us album cover?
Honestly, though, I saw that and forgot that was the album cover. I was like, damn, that's fucking crazy. It's like Drake's deleting shit like it never happened, and Kendrick's still out here with registered pedophile, registered pedophile, registered pedophile. All at the Drake mansion.
You know what's good about this show? We're not afraid to say the word pedophile. Have you seen that everyone on the internet says PDF file now? Are you all fucking pussies?
Oh
say
my
the
God.
word. Fuck the algorithm. Say it.
I think that is most of what creates culture like that. Is like having to worry about the algorithm being like, oh, you said a naughty word.
You said pedophile. Now no one's gonna ever see your content again.
Shadow ban. I mean, seriously though, yeah, I think there's some stuff where it's like about cultural sensitivity and trigger warning and whatever, and that's all fine. But if you don't have a fan base, don't be walking around here being like, I can't say something that'll get me canceled or whatever the fuck. Yeah. You're a nobody. How they gonna cancel you?
Hey, we're nobodies. That's our benefit. That's
Facts.
we
can say whatever the fuck we want.
Yeah.
Freedom of speech in the day of the internet.
If you all don't want us to turn corporate, subscribe to the podcast. Leave us a 5-star review. Let's do this. Tell 5 people you know.
Oh, that's a lot. You think these people know 5 people, Louis?
Yes. Tell your grandma.
Damn.
Tell your mom.
Damn.
Tell your neighbors. Tell that one guy who seems interested in you at Pilates class. Tell people at the grocery store.
Oh my gosh.
Whoever will listen.
If they got ears, the Highly Suspicious podcast is for them.
Preach the gospel.
Alright, I think that's all we should say for this week. We'll be back next Thursday. New episode every Thursday at Highly Suspicious Podcast everywhere.
Stay tuned for that Savion episode. It's spicy.
Yeah.